You know what I love most about 3 Up, 3 Down? Is when you guys comment to me with ideas of videos that you want to see. And today's video is exactly that. Someone commented to me. Make sure you comment down below who you were because I can't find that comment anymore about the award winners and who is in contention for Major League Baseball's highest honors at the end of the season. So let's talk about that. Let's go. Let's start off with Manager of the Year. This is one I always do a prediction with at the start of the year, as I do with the four major ones we're going to be talking about. For the American League, for me right now, it's coming down to two top names. Brandon Hyde with the Orioles and Bruce Bochy of the Texas Rangers. I think those are two biggest names in contention for the AL Manager of the Year award. That award typically goes to teams that really surprise, and Hyde and Bochy are really leading their teams to the top of the standings. Now, there are a couple names out there for managers. If their teams get in the playoffs, I think they would be in contention. Scott Service in Seattle, Alex Cora in Boston, and one that people may be forgetting about, I think Dusty Baker has done a tremendous job with the Astros this year with all the injuries they've had. Losing Verlander, I know he's back, but I would consider him as part of this contention as well. But right now, I think it's Hyde and Bochy at the top. Flipping over to the National League, this is much tougher. I've got 4 or 5 names in mind, and it's all going to depend, I think, on how the playoff picture turns out, especially the wild card race, as all the managers involved seem to be in this type of race or a part of that NL Central race. So Craig Counsell with the Brewers, I think, has done a fantastic job there. Skip Schumacher with the Marlins definitely needs to be considered. Torey Lovullo with the Arizona Diamondbacks has done a really good job, and if they get in, he definitely gets consideration. And David Ross at the Chicago Cubs, who've really gone on a run and really surprised. But the last name I'm thinking about is probably the guy leading the pack if they get in, and that's David Bell with the Cincinnati Reds. He's done a fantastic job with all the young talent that Cincinnati has brought in. So if the Reds make the playoff spot, he's probably the top name in the National League, but any one of these 5, if their team gets in, is definitely up for consideration. My favorite award each year is probably the Rookie of the Year, and this has been a tremendous year for rookies in both the AL and NL. I think there's a lot of guys that are going to be up for contention for Rookie of the Year awards, although I think we're starting to figure out who's most likely to win the award in each league. In the American League, I've got 6 names that I come up with. Take a look. Tanner Bibby with the Cleveland Guardians, a 2.90 ERA in 108 innings has been very good. JP France with the Astros, 2.74 ERA in 102 innings are the top 2 pitchers in my mind. Josh Jung with the Texas Rangers, the third baseman, just got hurt, but in 109 games had an 8.13 OPS. That is incredible. Masataka Yoshida is definitely in the running there. 105 games at 821 OPS. Someone to keep a lookout for the last part of the year, Edward Julien, the second baseman with the Minnesota Twins, in 71 games this year has an 873 OPS. I did not know that. That is a tremendous mark so far for Julien. But the top guy probably has to be Gunnar Henderson of the Baltimore Orioles. 110 games this year and 777 OPS. He had some struggles at the start of the season. That's why the numbers are a little down, I think. But his progress through the year has been absolutely incredible. So I think Gunnar Henderson is the likely winner, although someone like Masataka Yoshida is definitely in consideration. It's really unfortunate that Josh Jung got hurt. That probably takes him out of the race, but you have to honor him with such a tremendous year. Over in the National League, I've got the same idea, a bunch of different names for you guys, so let's check those out first. Andrew Abbott, 2.99 ERA in 81 innings as starting pitcher for the Reds. He's held them in the race, I think, on the pitching side. Patrick Bailey, the rookie catcher for San Francisco, 726 OPS in 68 games, but he has been very, very good since coming up. Francisco Alvarez, 21 home runs in 90 games for the Mets as their starting catcher. Spencer Steer in Cincinnati. He's having a fantastic year, first base, third base there. But the top 3 guys for me are James Outman, 794 OPS in 111 games for the Dodgers. Matt McClain is 877 OPS in 79 games as the Reds shortstop. We're talking Reds. But once again, the likely winner of this is the top name, Corbin Carroll. 860 OPS in 116 games. He's over 20 home runs. He's over 30 stolen bases. Rookies do not do this in Major League Baseball. He has been absolutely fantastic. I know there's so many Reds names out there that we did not mention. Ellie De La Cruz. I'll mention him here. He just hasn't played enough games, in my opinion, to be up for this type of award. So top guy, Corbin Carroll, but there are a bunch of names in this National League race as well. Having pitched a lot in my career, I love talking about pitchers as well. And I'm going to start in the National League with the Cy Young race to start because I think it's probably more interesting than the American League. In the National League, you got 4 names that I'm going to give you. Kicking it off, Blake Snell of the San Diego Padres, a 3.9 WAR. He leads the National League in ERA at 2.65. He's been fantastic. Justin Steele of the Chicago Cubs, 3.1 WAR with a 2.79 ERA. Very, very good for them, although he missed a few starts, but not enough to take him out of contention in my mind. Couple other names to consider. Zach Gallen for the Arizona Diamondbacks, 3.5 WAR, 12 wins, a 3.24 ERA. If he finishes strong, I would expect him to be in contention. And the guy that's getting slept on, San Francisco Giants starter Logan Webb, a 4 WAR so far this season, 163 innings. He leads all of baseball, a 3.26 earned run average. Those are numbers that are definitely up there and in contention for NL Cy Young. I think any one of these 4 could be out there by the end of the season. There's probably some other names in National League as well, so make sure you comment down below who you think. But I think the National League Cy Young race is very interesting. Over in the American League, the top name for me has to be Garrett Cole. He has been fantastic for the Yankees. A 5.1 WAR, which is the best of any starting pitcher in baseball this year. A 2.76 ERA for the Yankees. He has been fantastic. The other name that would have been up there is Shane McClanahan, but now he is injured and is done for this year and likely all of next year as well. So he would have been up there for me, but McClanahan is now injured, so I'm taking him out of the race. 3 other guys for the American League to take a look at. Kevin Gausman has a 3.24 ERA with 187 strikeouts, which leads the American League. You also have Nathan Eovaldi. If he comes back healthy soon, 2.69 ERA with 11 wins has been very, very good for the Texas Rangers. And someone to keep an eye out for is the no-hit man, Framber Valdez, a 3.31 ERA and 148 strikeouts. But Framber is the type of guy who could get very hot in the last part of the year and could win a Cy Young Award in my mind. So there's my top 4 going on right now in the American League. Let's talk the big award now, MVP. In the American League, let's start with the highly likely MVP, Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani leads all of baseball with a 9.3 combined WAR. At the plate, he has a 107.2 OPS. It's just about a given that Ohtani is going to win this award, and it makes me consider maybe we need a most outstanding player and a most valuable player award because, let's face it, yes, Ohtani is extremely valuable to the Angels, but they're highly unlikely to make the playoffs. Kind of defeats the value of the award in some ways. Let me know what you think down below. As well, in the American League, I got 4 other names to consider, all having fantastic seasons. Corey Seager has had some injury issues, but has a 5.3 WAR with a 107.2 OPS, which is the exact same as Shohei. The guy that's coming on really strong right now is Kyle Tucker, the Houston Astros, with a 9.03 OPS and has been absolutely crushing it the last month or so. Yandy Diaz, in my mind, has to be considered, especially if Tampa Bay gets into the playoffs here. What I'm thinking about in terms of Yandy Diaz, if they lose Wander Franco long-term here, Yandy Diaz is going to be that much more important. 907 OPS for him, having a very, very good year. And the last sneaky guy to look at for me is Marcus Semien, who has a 5.6 WAR and is one of the best defenders in baseball and has led Texas. He plays game in and game out. I would think he's going to get some votes as well. Over in the National League, again, it kind of feels like this is an award that's already wrapped up in terms of Ronald Acuna winning the award, but I don't think that's true here yet. I think there's 4 other names out there that are really high up there in terms of the National League. First up, taking a look at Acuna, a 6.1 WAR, a 9.95 OPS. He's hitting home runs. He's picking up stolen bases. He could be a 40-40 guy in baseball this year. If that happens, I think he wins MVP, but it's not a guarantee either. Other names, Freddie Freeman, a 5.4 WAR with a 997 OPS. Mookie Betts is in with a 6 WAR and a 973 OPS. I'm not a big Juan Soto guy, but you have to look at the numbers. A 908 OPS. If he goes crazy in the last part of the year and the Padres make the playoffs, I think he'll get some consideration as well. And the last guy, Matt Olson, a 5.1 WAR, a 1,000 OPS. And if he gets to that 60 home run mark, that could very well elevate him to winning the award over top of teammate Ronald Acuna. So it's definitely up in the air in the National League in terms of MVP. Let me know who you think is up for MVP awards this year. Comment down below who you would be picking at this point in time, or who you think is going to have a big finish to the season to elevate themselves into consideration. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of another video. Comment down below who you think is up for these awards. I love the comments, because we can talk all kinds of baseball. I am back from holiday, as you can see, so we're going to have a bunch more videos coming out here. Make sure you go check out some YouTube shorts. I'm going to be doing some pack openings there. I've got a bunch of baseball cards to open up, so if you're into that kind of content, make sure you're checking out the YouTube shorts portion of 3 Up, 3 Down for all of your baseball card pack opening needs. And as always, make sure you go check out some of my previous videos. We've talked a lot of different topics here in 3 Up, 3 Down, so make sure you go check out some past videos as well. Until next time, take care, everyone.